Good evening, Final Fantasy Randomizer fans. Good evening, RPG Limit Break, and good evening, Warmech fans. Tonight we're bringing to you. Oops, all Warmechs. This is Game 2 of the Fall League semifinals. Kumo is doing our re-streaming. Fallison and Catnip Bumblefarts doing the tracking. I'm Scar, and making sure I don't say too many words all at once is Mechlin89. How are you doing tonight, Mechlin?
Pretty good this evening. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right. I'm excited for this. This is there's a little bit of variation in the party selection. And it looks like we've got one half of the screen black belts, one half of the screen fighters. Just so that we're all on the same page. Why might half of the racers not want a fighter?
Because that fighter comes with a Thief Sword Malice tonight, which is pretty terrible because Thief Swords are pretty limited to, I think it's Rune, Coral, and Dragon are some of the better swords that the Thieves can equip.
Yes, the Rune Sword is probably the best among those because, well, I actually don't know. My evaluation of the Rune Sword is based on the vanilla Fiend set, but there's this is an Alt Fiends flag set. We have the FF1 bonus Fiends, so those type swords might have a different general use case. I'm actually gonna double check.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I didn't even think about that because I would assume the Rune Sword would be best as well with having magical type, and I think
three of the four vanilla Fiend refights are mages.
Right,
but
so it just does
it's
some
not quite the
damage
case on the Alt Fiends.
But Black Belt, we're choosing Black Belt tonight because Black Belt is coming with legendary swords. So we find that Moss Moon, we find that Excal, we find that Vorpal. We can stick one of them on there, and the Black Belt can do some damage. We're hoping to find that Excal. It's going to do the most damage tonight.
I'm going to wager that the Black Belts are being chosen not because they can wield legendary swords, but because they don't need to wield any swords with the unarmed hit growth.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. I guess we'll have to see how everything plays out for everyone. So some of our other blurstings we got going on, we see Thief in every party. Thief is coming with the wood armor set to add evade. We're also getting elemental magic to start, so it'll be nice little help for Garland if we need it, or some taking some large packs early to get some quick experience. They do come with minus 30 HP, so it's going to be a little rough from the get-go to get some levels, but once we get some levels on them, should be rolling pretty good. Fighter is going to come with plus 5 luck and 80 HP. And then Black Belts are coming with clean magic as well, but minus 10 vitality. We see our runners heading off. Level 1 white magic didn't look too appetizing, and looks like
this is some terrible level 1 magic. I think the best things out of here are Quake and Harm.
Yeah, that's not going to do a whole lot.
You don't when your best AoE is Harm, with the odds that you didn't take a white mage.
Actually, I don't know that we do have, because we have improved Fire, Lit, Ice, and Harm spells flagged. I think that turns Harm into a single target.
Oh, that turns Harm into a single target with Harm 3 damage.
Yeah.
And they do start with Blast, which are one of the consumables added by the randomizer. A Blast, when drank, will cast Fire 3. And we got a starting AoE caster item. Appears to be a black shirt this seed. Casts Ice 2 when used as an item.
Yeah, that's probably one of my more favorites. That and
that is definitely the improved Fire. Those wolves have Fire, and that did way more damage than Fire should.
Yeah, that always catches me off guard when that improved flag is on. Bosses will one-shot me, and I'm not prepared for it, especially with the intelligence bonus buff, but which we don't have turned on tonight. I did look for that, so it won't be too bad. But I seen a giant sword pulled out of Toph, but I didn't really see much else of note. We are getting a crown picked up from the king, and the herb picked up from the princess. We got some turn items we can take care of.
Yeah, well, those are nice. And to note, this is also a shard hunt. Our runners need to find between... Am I on the right? Yeah, between 24 and 32 shards. I did not catch the exact number needed for this particular race.
Yeah, I didn't either. There's quite a few bubbles on the screen is what I saw. This looks like everyone's making it through Garland okay. We do get some... Oh, wow. Phoenix Blast and Smokes in the item shop. And I think I saw houses
those Phoenix,
as well, so.
the Phoenix acts as the Phoenix Down or the life potion featured in later games where it'll revive a character.
Yeah, that's really handy to have. Luffy is saying 29 shards needed. So, not as long as it could be, but still not as short either. One thing to note, we do...
Oh look, there's Wormek.
How about that? Yeah, Wormek is unleashed.
Yep, all of the options for the alternate placements of Wormek are enabled. So Wormek will be patrolling the Sky Maze in the Sky Fortress. He will be standing before the entrance to the room where you fight Tiamat. He will be able to be encountered on the good old reliable Bridge of Destiny. And he'll be in the rare encounter slot in every encounter table.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing quite a few Wormeks tonight. Catching the crystal on Vicky's from Vicky on Dark Moon's side, and also I happened to catch we got Let 2 magic, or Let 3 magic. I'm sorry. So we at least we're
Let
getting
3
a
level
sleeper.
2 is nice.
I think I just peeped Harm 4. So anybody took a white mage, which I didn't see.
Nobody did.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Dark Moon is double red. Woobear is double black. I believe ADR and Jay Scheidel are both black-red.
Yep. I think it was gold rings for sale in Provoca.
Yeah, Gold Bracelet +1 is pretty good, but I don't think it's worth the cost, especially when we're broke at the beginning of the game.
Oh,
to put it lightly.
Nice to note for later if we can't find anything. But with all the chests that we're going to be opening tonight, I feel like we're going to find some decent gear for our...
It's a canoe seed. Our crystal has turned into a canoe. Yes.
Yep. Okay. Oh, that makes sense. We only have early open progression. We don't have the extended, so it was bound to be found.
Yeah, that had to be ship or canoe. It's canoe seed. Or it could have been, well, adamant into something, but the opening chain ends in one or the other.
Right. Well, Astos has the canal, so I'm sure ship won't be too far off. So far, we haven't seen any of our loose items yet. We do have
right. This is a flag set where, the main was that's the loot, the key, the chime, the cube, the oxyale,
and the rod.
Another item, the rod, all loose.
Which they're the only two that are necessarily required is the key and the loot. Probably going to need some of the other ones to get some shards, but not necessarily.
This is the second Wormek for Jay Scheidel. And it looks like he's taking a moment at least to see some of the script, because there is only one type of Wormek in the game, and our final boss tonight is Wormek and Friends, where you have to fight 2 Wormeks and 6 evil men.
Yep, doing a little scouting early on.
Yeah, fast and quad X means you probably want some ruse and some death protection. Pro rings, ribbons. The wall spell, if you're desperate.
Yeah, wall can be pretty handy. I know I've definitely run a few seeds where ribbons are just not found, and wall is my only answer.
Well, the ribbon is one of our incentivized items, so, or at least one of the ribbons is one of the incentivized items. So you could, if you truly need one, you can go digging for it in your remaining incentives once you're in go mode.
Yeah. Just seeing the white shirt was pulled from the elf prince on both Darkmoon and Woobear's side. Nice little evasion for the party. Making our way.
This too is a very good spell.
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't know how much it's going to do for us against the final boss, but, you know.
Well, when you have 8 enemies that could potentially punch you, you do want them to not be able to punch you, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, that's the adamant coming out of the shop over in Crescent Lake. And we're getting
Warp at level 6.
Warp. Oh, and we are getting the ship pulled from the old men.
Trench vanilla. They give you a different kind of boat, usually. And now it's on to Ice Cave. Ice is one of the incentivized locations, so Darkmoon probably hoping to pull the floater from here. I think that would be like the process of elimination of going to specifically Ice Cave when so many other objective incentives have opened up.
Right. I think the only other place we could get to would be Ordeals.
Search for loose items in the Earth Cave or in Volcano.
Yeah, Volcano has a lot of chests, so I'd imagine at least one of them should end up in there. It's like ADR and Jay Shidell are making their way over to Crescent Lake as well. Going to be joining up with Darkmoon and Woobear on the way into Ice.
Yeah, and Woobear's grinding for cash. He doesn't want to leave this adamant behind.
Yeah, I feel like I would let it go for now. There's a chance that we're going to have to come back here pretty soon.
Well, you see, that's like the standard logical play, and I'm betting the reasoning here is that everyone else is going to just leave it be and do other things in the meantime. So getting this now, if this is, say, floater, it's a big leg up.
Big brain plays. Too big for my brain. I believe Blast is supposed to be Fire 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Blast is Fire 3. I'm pretty sure Warmech resists fire.
Yeah, I think Warmech resists all but Time Magic. So, yeah, Blasts aren't going to do a whole lot to them. Darkmoon making use of those free smokes we got to get out of a dicey situation there.
zombie dragons on... There's the incentive item. We could just ditch the rest of this, but shards are a nice thing to have, I suppose.
Oh, we got a ruby and a rod down inside of Ice Cave, along with the Bane sword.
It's an interesting decision to completely skip over Enish remembering that there's loose everywhere. He has to check that chest. Okay.
Yep. Only gold, but, you know, that thought would be just nagging at me the rest of the day. What if my loot was in there? As we see
Here's the Oxy Ale. Okay.
Yeah.
And the cube.
Wow.
What's the loose placement on this?
So
it's got the loose placement is chaotic, so they can kind of just be anywhere.
Yeah. I think it's supposed to push it further into the beginning of the game, but it's it can just
so
end
it's
up
not
forever.
It is fully random, and it tends to put it earlier. Or
is that it? Okay.
Dungeons.
Okay. I know anytime I've had chaotic on it, it seems like it pushes it towards the beginning, and that always just felt like that's where it was meant to be. But yeah, that makes more sense. So we're going to be on a key and a loot hunt tonight.
Sounds like a day that ends in Y to me. Key and a loot hunt? It's very, very rare that we need neither.
Jay making the ordeals play.
It's a good gamble.
Yeah. Absolutely. There's 10 chests up here.
It's incentivized.
And yeah. So we're gonna find something in here.
I don't know if Darkmoon checked the vanilla floater chest.
I don't think so. They didn't drop down, so we'll have to keep an eye on that see if maybe Woobear checks that or not. I think Darkmoon wanted to get out of there before progress was lost. No warp, no exit yet, so... Oh, and there's
an eyeball tile.
Yeah.
That enables it's a sufficient black belt grind, I would say. Eyeballs are kind of squishy, and they give a lot of XP per, an effective lot of XP per hit point if you're measuring it like that.
Yeah, eyes are the grind of choice for sure. We're gonna take another one just because.
Very thin today.
I was gonna say, was that 130?
The HP scaling for regular enemies in this flag set is somewhere between 80% and 170% of the vanilla value. So it looks like it was pretty low.
I believe you spoke the floater into existence. Adamant turn into the floater. Darkmoon just cashed in on that.
That's fair.
Darkmoon gonna be in the air in about 16, maybe 17 minutes.
We're also electing to skip over the vanilla floater chest. And so far, it looks like ADR's Volcano Dive has only given him experience, and while experience is a very nice thing to have, it's only part of the equation.
Yep. I do believe that was the TNT pulled from Ordeals on Jay's side. Got a few shards in there, too. I didn't see what Darkmoon had just pulled out of Sarda.
It was the Excalibur, a
Ooh,
plus
that is a nice
0
find.
Excalibur, which
Oh,
the black belt can wear it. It's still a very good weapon.
yeah.
And the Excalibur's Hurt All property is very useful against the Alt Fiends and against Warmech. I believe Warmech is the regenerative type, which I don't remember if the regenerative type actually means they restore HP per turn, or if they do, it's not a lot. And there's the Power Gauntlet in Titan's Trove.
Oh, Darkmoon has the alternate magic on, right?
Yeah, the new names for the magic. If there's ever a restream I'm commentating where everyone has those new names on, I won't know what people are casting.
I was gonna say I was looking at some of those spells and like I don't know what that means.
I think Hast is fast.
Yeah, that makes sense. There was another one that looked like it said Autumn, but I'm not sure what that would even be.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
There's Woobear with the floater.
Maybe it was an A spell. A Thunder? A Lightning?
Oh, maybe? A-Lit?
I think that's the only thing that would make sense to me.
I don't know. I'm more of a fan of the old names than the new ones.
Yeah, I'm definitely more familiar. Even though I did play Dawn of Souls for quite some time.
42,000 gold in a chest. We're rich.
The...
Well, ADR is rich, which means we're rich.
Very rich volcano.
And one must loot Volcano if they wish to acquire the loots.
That is a
and
nice
this is a good grind tile. The what we call the seafood party platter. The full pack of sea shrine enemies. Though, oh no, stunned, darked, and apparently out of smoke bombs.
Yeah.
That's a very annoying wipe. There's been quite a few shards, and he's dipping.
Yep. Well, we know we're gonna have to come back eventually to grab that loot, so...
Yeah, that is he only left one chest, 2 chests unlooted, and he's probably gonna come back for shards anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, you were saying Seafood Party Pack is a nice grind, except when it isn't.
It's a nice grind if you're not going in with low HP and low resources.
Yeah.
Because a couple lit 3s usually clears it. So both Woobear and Darkmoon have gone to Marsh Cave, and Marsh Cave is not incentivized on this Flaxo, so the only thing we could find is, well, the only thing that we know could be found here. Both Darkmoon and Woobear probably think, or, you know, as far as their knowledge is concerned, they could find key or loot here. We know that they could only find the key here.
Yep.
Or the chime.
I was gonna say, but I think we haven't seen the chime yet.
We have not seen the chime.
Okay. So it's out there somewhere. Maybe not required. Could be like one of those days where all the shards just end up in Sky.
Yeah, like with how many chests there are in Sky, you could be required to loot it. If there's without Triman Cube, I don't know the math. I forget the exact number of chests in. Oh, Brack on Wizogres? That's gross.
You.
Now ADR has obtained the floater, though I think this would put ADR in a little bit of the lead because he's airborne and he knows where the loot is and where quite a few shards are. He just needs to go back and grab them at some point.
Yep. Right, all of our runners in the air finally. So, I just read Thunder 3 as Thing 3. But I do have Adam's family on the mind, so.
I mean, now is definitely a good time to have Adam's family on the mind.
Oh,
Halloween
absolutely.
is but a stone's throw away.
ADR going to give us our first look into Bahamut's Horde. We don't have a tail yet, but, I mean...
Tail could be right here.
Sitting right next to Bahamut, yep. Oh, a katana +4.
Alright, then now that's very nice. And the key loose.
And the key. Wow. And the
sword? Incentivized defense sword.
Bahamut's sword is loaded today. Yeah. And 3 shards. Wow. Okay. No tail, but I mean everything else. Wow. So now ADR hasn't made their way into Ice Cave yet. We have the Rod, the Oxia, and the Cube all down there. So more than likely you're going to have to make their way in there. I think there was the Ruby was the incentivized item, which isn't necessarily needed. We have the airship, and there was nothing. It was the power bonk, which...
That's very nice to have.
Yeah.
I don't think it's exactly what you need for... You probably want the AO, like, to get more HP on your mages. Like,
yeah.
Just because you want AoE. Oh, the slab is the incentive item from good old reliable Caneria Treasury.
Yeah, and flame armor +5 plus a Roostic as well.
So it looks like at this point, Darkmoon is deciding that now is the time. He will grind. He will let party members die off so that the Black Belt and probably the Thief to some degree get as much experience as possible. With a Black Belt... Oh, never mind. He's just getting a little bit of experience. Oh no, he's going... Okay. The back and forth, I'm sorry. The lava tiles.
Yeah, that makes sense. Nice way to get everyone down. Especially if you're one-shotting the eye so quickly that It can't do anything to you.
Yeah, and this is a safe spot to take a grind because that going down one tile to that wall tile, like on those walls which are connected to a door, you don't get encountered. It doesn't advance your step count.
Right, right. And being so close to the entrance, we're more than likely able to make our way out without too much worry. ER giving us a look at the Dwarven Armory. Except we're picking up a few things.
Ice Shield is very nice.
Pro Cape. There's only one shard in here, but I mean, some pretty nice gear to find. They didn't have the TNT, so I don't know that we've seen the TNT be turned in yet. I think Jay is the only one that has it currently.
Yeah, Jay's the only one that has it. It was the incentive in Ordeals.
Yep.
But now that we've seen both key and loot, Ordeals is not required. Oh, and there's the chime loose in Earth Cave in Woobear's least favorite chest.
Oh, is that in Earth TFC? Yeah.
Oh, and there's Phantom also hanging out in Volcano.
We got both eyes and a seafood party plaque.
2 wonderful grinds and a very much not wonderful grind.
Yeah, no one wants to say that wrong eye.
No one, never. Phantom's only job is to waste your time.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, Luffy, I think you might be right there. I think that probably is going to be the Opal bracelet off the TNT. Could be the tail? Nope. Jay has the tail. What was the tail? I missed it.
So did I.
Might just be a misclick. Oh, okay. Our tracker Catnip is letting us know. They saw it in Jay's inventory, so it was picked up somewhere along the way. So maybe that was the TNT turn-in, and we all missed it.
Yes, and then the slab turn-in would be the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Have we seen the incentivized ribbon yet as well?
Oh yeah, no, we do have that on the table as well. And then there's also the bottles out there. So slab to bottle to ribbon, and then yeah, the opal would be on the robot maybe, or vice versa, and a combination of those, I guess. ADR finding out Womp Ruby. They don't know it's a Womp yet, but we'll find out, I'm sure.
Glare, Spectres, Blaze, Cocktresses. This is, wow, Blaze, Death Touch, Cocktresses. That's
I was just gonna say, was that Death Touch? Wow.
Yeah, when you don't see the damage number like that, when it's just slain, that's Death Touch.
Well, that is not fun to run into. Alright, so ADR picking up some goodies out of Ice Cave, while Woobear makes their way to Bahamut to find the key and some other goodies. Haven't been able to catch shard count for anybody quite yet, but
Oh no, folks are in and out of their menus so quickly. I only know if somebody's how many shards they have once they have enough shards, you know?
yeah.
And Jay Shidell has proven his courage by bringing the tail of a rat to the Dragon King Bahamut.
I assume it's got to be a really big rat tail. Like,
No, it's a regular rat's tail.
or is it?
The proof of the courage is you're coming down and you're presenting the King of Dragons with just a rat tail. Like, he could have went and got it himself. It's not.
No,
it's not that the rat tail is special. Is that you're bold for showing it to him?
Okay. Now, is it an actual rat's tail, or is it
Yes.
a rat tail like a chunk of hair that someone cut off?
I think it's just. Well, it's just called tail, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's like actually a tail.
It's Vicky's rat tail. Yeah, let's go with that.
It's not out of the question. Looks like the shard counts are a little low right now.
Yeah. 6 and 7 on the bottom, or on the right side. And
the Hafgafa, a doze, which looks like it's slip.
I would assume sleep, yeah. Oh, and there's the other katana +4 inside of Toflocked.
Now we're rock and rolling.
And a loose ribbon in the elfin armory. Or closet, I don't know what it's called.
Locked elf.
Yeah. Oh, that was some dragon armor picked up on ADR side. I believe their fighter's going to be full kitted out.
Fully kitted out, and they get at best like a rune sword, if you find one. Which, a rune sword's a very good sword, don't get me wrong. There's just so many better swords.
Yep. It's going to be a big meat shield for that thief wielding that katana later.
Might it be that Warmech is guarding the Masamune in a marked chest?
No, it's an unmarked chest.
Oh, it's unmarked?
Yep, it's a surprise Warmech. Yep.
Surprise!
I saw that too and laughed. So.
So 3 of our runners are in a position where they just need to loot for shards for go mode. ADR doesn't have the loot, but he knows where it is. And looks like Woobear will be joining that club shortly as he is diving the volcano where we know the loot is.
Oh, Jay doesn't murder the Hooray Dwarf. I don't go out of my way to murder the Hooray Dwarf, but if it's in my way, I'm sorry. Listen, I can't help it. If the dwarf's in the way, she's gotta go. I'm sorry. Don't get in my way.
I'm pretty sure it's quicker to walk around him if walking around him doesn't.
Probably is,
Yeah,
but
if you don't walk like into where he's walking.
I just hold left whenever I walk in the dwarf cave, so I don't look at what I'm doing. When I get stopped in front of the Hooray Dwarf gets guillotined. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
think...
ADR does not have the chime. He skipped it.
Yeah.
He doesn't need it, theoretically.
Yeah, not that we know of yet. I think 13 shards for ADR and for Dre.
Oh look, it's Revenant. Lich called in his cousin to fill in for the day. So far, the fiends are Hafkafa, which is water type, Revenant, which is undead type.
Yep, down 2 more shards for ADR.
Oh, interesting. Looks like Darkmoon might be looking for the last piece of the wood armor set. He bought wood armor in, I think, Canaria, and found a wood helmet in the dwarf closet, the 2 chests that are unlocked.
Oh,
so getting that evade, I don't know how much the evade bonus is, but if it's the same as like a cast of ruse, that'd be maybe worth it.
I feel like the wood set is worth it, especially on the thief who already has crazy.
Oh,
evade.
I frankly disagree because you can't wear a ribbon while you have wood armor on.
That's true. That is true.
All that evasion does you no good against Blaze and Fire 3 and Lit 3 and Bane and Brack. Now, if your physical evade was also an M evade, maybe, but that's not, unfortunately, not how it works.
Darkmoon is showing us the mermaid floor, already looting 2 shards.
Yeah, when the first half of the game doesn't have very many shards, you know the back half is going to have a lot of shards. And ADR also looting the mermaid side first. Oh, Jay Scheidel is once again trying to kill Warmack. He'll get through him at some point, and that'll be all the XP he needs for the rest of the game, theoretically.
Right.
problem. He has to get through them. And there's a loot for Woo Bear, so all of our runners are shards away from Go Mode. The number varies runner to runner, of course.
Quite a few shards. Looks like the mermaid floor only yielded, what, 3 shards?
It was a little unfortunate for the time investment, but...
I believe ADR has 18 shards, so I think that puts them in the lead. They do have to go back for their loot, but there are a number of shards around that loot as well, so...
Yeah, there's a number of shards involved, and it is...
I would bet that they have a count of how many shards they picked up out of Volcano, and once they hit that number they need, that's where they're going.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised. It's a good strategy to know where you... Not like bash your head against something when you wipe out, but instead just note down what could be there, what's there, and come back for it when you're more powerful.
Yep. Yep, definitely. Alright, Jay finally making his way into Ice Cave. Gonna find their dungeon items. Get to the rest of the seed. Probably feeling a little bit behind. Not having as much shards as they'd probably like to at the 45-minute mark, but they know that the rest of their shards have to be here, because I believe they've probably cleared out the rest of the game that they have access to. So...
Oh, Warmech is going for that Masamune in in everyone's favorite chest, TFC.
Oh, is that where it's at? Alright. I think I caught the ribbon being pulled from the slab on Woo Bear's side.
Oh, Tempest level 8. Rude.
That is rude. I mean, we don't necessarily need it.
No, when the plan is black belt, you don't need
Yeah. Yeah, Jay at 14 shards. ADR like 19 or 20 now. $17 for Dark Moon. I think that's 14 for Woo Bear as well.
So Dark Moon's red mages have lock here, and I think that better served by casting it than by swinging with his red mages there. Just to reduce Warmech's evasion, because you're not getting a ton of hits on them, it looks like. This is getting a little dicey. And it's no longer dicey. 33,000 experience points gets a Masamune plus 5 for Dark Moon. That is,
wow.
I am sure he is over the moon to hear that.
Yeah, that is a wonderful sight to see.
It is the second best weapon in this flag set, I think. Here's Warmech again. See, and now that they've got levels, they can do a Warmech grind. like 30,000 XP per war mech. If you can get to a point where you're killing them pretty quickly, you can get. It looks like he's actually pretty thin. Yeah, 3 levels for a war mech. It's a pretty good trade.
Oh, for sure. Oh, we see Vicky over here in the Kraken spot.
Yeah, I believe Bicky is giant type under these settings.
I think so.
Which means that there's that if you were doing, elemental swords without an X-Cal, you would so far need 3 different swords to get damage bonus against every ult fiend.
Yeah, I think that puts ADR at 25 shards.
Oh, that's even funnier. So the black mages have the bonus plus temper, which gives them temper at level 8 and 2 charges to cast it.
Yep.
So the one character that can learn the level 8 temper already knows the level 8 temper.
More temper. More.
That would be a bit of a flex to buy temper at level 8 when you already know temper at level 8.
Right. Does it give you 2 slots of temper too? Right? Because most of those bonuses
so the plus temper, when it's plus 1 spell, it just gives you 1 slot with that spell. The only blessing that gives you multiple slots filled with the same spell is nuke magic. Because it's not plus nuke, it's nuke magic.
Right. Did they? I didn't catch that, Ellison. Ellison saying I lit 3 of
maybe
to death. I guess
everyone has skipped. Everyone that's gone to ice, maybe ADR didn't, but most folks, the 3 of the Forerunners that went to ice, skipped the vanilla floater test. Jay Scheidel doesn't need it because for him it could only be the chime, which I'm guessing he's banking on not needing.
Right.
And ADR has returned to Volcano. I'm guessing he's satisfied with his shard count, or is at a point where, yep, he is very close to full shards.
Yep. I know there was at least 2 shards along the way, so... And then the loot is down at the bottom.
The loot's down there, and killing the carry spot, lighting the orb of fire, will reward 2 shards.
Yep. Ooh, seafood party plaque not donating, not being too kind to Wilbear.
Ooh, yeah, that's unfortunate.
Still looking for 1 more shard.
Oh, if is ADR 1 shard away, or is he 3 shards away? And you're
3 shards away.
Killing? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm also assuming that he's going to kill the carry boss and light the orb of fire.
Yeah, that's what I would assume. You're walking all this way for the loot. You might as well. We are not going to step on that seafood party plaque up there again. Nope. Oh, this was half goof. I was thinking this was Revenant. Revenant.
No,
was,
Revenant is in Earth Cave.
Yeah.
Filling in for his cousin Lich, remember?
Yeah. That's right.
That's Darkmoon having defeated Bikke and lighting the Orb of Water for a 4-shard bonus.
It's like there's 6 away still. I think Jay has seen more Warmix than anybody else tonight.
Yeah, like significantly so, I think. A part of it is that it's been on his screen for longer because he isn't just running, he's trying to, get a Warmech grind going by killing one Warmech and thus being able to kill another Warmech. The problem is, until you're able to kill one Warmech, it's very hard.
Looking at those HP levels, I would assume we're within a range to be able to take down Warmech. But
yes, the Warmech in Topher, as the 2 Warmechs in Topher, as part of the Warmech and Friends alternate final boss, is the same Warmech as you encounter in the rest of the game, because the devs didn't see a need to add a second Warmech to the game, believe it or not.
I buffed Warmech. Is that going to be the next flag?
You can already buff Warmech. Yeah, players can pick can upload their own character sprites to use for this randomizer. I think Darkmoon's playing as some Ninja Turtles. Jay Scheidel has, I believe, some Final Fantasy III inspired sprites.
Yeah, I believe that's what those are. I think I played that game on NES twice and got lost both times and gave up. And that Black Mage does look very reminiscent of the FF3 Black Mage sprites.
Oh, here's a fun thing Woobear just showed off. You can use the smoke bombs to escape unrunnable battles. If it's a boss battle, you don't get credit for having cleared it. And, like if you use it on one of the Fiend tiles in Topher, it doesn't let you skip the tile. But it does let you back out and safely reset.
It pushes you back
without having to reset. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I've never actually used it on a boss fight yet, but I knew that it could be done. I just didn't know exactly if it puts you... I would assume it would put you back a tile, because then otherwise you'd be able to just skip it in Topher. And that just seems very OP to be able to just jump over the Fiend refights. Which we won't see any tonight, actually.
Oh, it's no Fiend refights? Just just gotta walk down to Warmack and Friends.
Yep, which we're about to...
Understandable.
Oh, maybe. Oh, I think there was a shard in here somewhere. So I think ADR is going to get lucky. There it is. ADR in go mode. And looks like the first runner tonight to get their way into Toph. So yeah, quick stroll down mid-Topher, which is one of our more recent additions to the Topher scene, I think, right?
Yep, it is the newest version of Topher. Short Topher was added in the randomizer sometime before that, and Long Topher was added to the game. When did this game come out?
87, 88, somewhere around there.
In 19,
I wasn't born yet.
That year. Neither was I.
Yeah.
So the only person to have found the chime is Woobear, except that he wiped out and probably isn't going back for it at this point.
Yeah, I think the only way I would go back for where it's at is if I absolutely need to find more shards. There's no reason to go to Sky. Nothing's incentivized. We have our loot. We have our key.
And it looks like ADR is going to be the first into the fight against Warmech and Friends. It's Warmech and Friends, really.
Throwing out black shirt and then 2 lit 3 sweepers, plus a roost stick on that fighter.
Yep, this is going to be a very simple idea. Get the fighter buffed up, make sure to keep them topped up, perhaps, and hopefully take out these evil men. They were a little thick. Evil men don't have a lot of HP in vanilla. They could have a lot more. The randomizer, I think it was up to 170% in this flag set.
Yeah, I think that was what it was. Alright, so all the evil men are down. 2 Warmech remain.
Yeah, I think the most dangerous skill we saw out of Warmech at this point is that Thunder we just saw. It shouldn't be terrible, because at this point, ADR still has 7.
Oh, it does have damage poison.
Oh, there's poison. That is very dangerous. Quadex is not that big a deal in ADR's case. His fighter has quite a bit of HP. I don't remember what the Quadex threshold is in this flag set, but
I think it is the standard 300.
Should be above. Yeah, 300. I believe the fighter has a ribbon on, is the important thing.
Yeah. Going out with Frost as well. And there just comes that back around the Thunder.
Yeah, looks like these Warmechs got a script that was greatly favoring skills over spells or attacks.
Dark Moon pulling up to Warmack and Friends as well.
Dark Moon's doing a lot more damage. He's got the Masamune on a thief versus I have no idea what sword ADR is swinging. But the power of temper and fast and buffs.
That looks like a knife.
Knife of some sort. I mean, with the way the buffs work in this game, that's all you need is something.
A large dagger.
Yeah, Dark Moon clearing. Oh, there's ADR's finish with an official time of 1 hour, 3 minutes, and 16 seconds as per racetime.gg. And GG to ADR. See if he wants to join in for an interview, perhaps.
And there's Dark Moon, not too far behind. Looked like it was a 103.
103.31.
Yeah.
And that ding in my ear tells me we are joined by Dark Moon, tonight's second place finisher, Gigi.
Hi, that was fun.
And we're also joined by ADR, the first place finisher, Gigi. You gentlemen had quite different parties, and I think that's worth exploring. Like, what? Let's start with ADR since you won. What drove you to take the party you took with these particular blursings?
Well, a good chunk of it is that my teammate Gouda had a bad day with the black belt, so I really didn't want to repeat that. And you know, a large dagger is enough to kill a Warmack and Friends if you buff it up enough. And the HP bonus was good enough on the Black Mage, and fighters always have good HP. So I figured it'll be good enough, might as well just take it and run.
Good thought.
And Dark Moon, was there anything other than the Thief Sword Malice that pushed you away from a fighter?
Oh, it was absolutely the Thief Sword Malice. My entire strategy going into today, everything I'd done in practice was get in the air, find the X-Cal. Get in the air, find the X-Cal. Because against Warmack and Friends and the Evil Men, X-Cal's going to do great. So I go in and I look, I'm like, oh, Thief Swords. Yay! So the second I did that, I just had to try and recalibrate and figure out what exactly it was that I wanted to do. And although the black belt vitality sucked, the fact that he could swing the X-Cal and I just had to throw some levels on him, which, you know, gobble Warmax, that did the trick. And between Thief having the wood evasion and the Red Mages having natural evasion, that's everything I wanted.
So, how did you feel whenever you seen the Mossmoon pulled out of that chest?
I wasn't gonna fight a Warmech that early. I was gonna wait. I knew they were on the river system as what, the second encounter or something, or in that area on the ground. I'm like, I'll just do Warmechs there, or I'll go back and I'll grind eyes. But when I found the Mazda, I'm sitting there going, well, that would make the grind easier. I could just eat Warmechs. And I'm like, screw it, let's just do it. So throw the black belt at the back, because I know he's the one I want to have survive. And then just pray. And praying seemed to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. It helped me catch up to ADR. I was happy about that.
Yeah, that gap was something else. And seeing on stream, like, I actually had an okay lead until I'm sitting there like, come on, little dagger, get into those Warmechs, trying to find, like, the loose screw to bring them apart. Whereas you're just like, boom.
Yeah. No, that is, that 15 seconds between us, that's down to, like, I accidentally reset out of the wood shield, which I hadn't done that, I catch up to you. Or, you know, if turn order goes differently in a few fights, or I don't have that one fight that I remember I failed to run from, that's 15 seconds. That's variance and luck, and you know what? I'm not mad at that at all. That's what happens when you play a randomized RPG. It's just what it is.
True that.
No, I'm not mad about that at all. 15 seconds is awesome. Any closer, we might have had to have another retime. Yeah. Oh, so, yeah, no, that was fun. GG's ADR.
You too. So looking at the scoreboard, I think right now there's only 2 points between the top and bottom teams as of tonight.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
Ooh,
this
very
is
close.
Yeah.
every game
the
is going to count.
next 2 days will define everything, and I think that's great. I think just going in and having it be like this is awesome.
Yeah, it means the top 4 really are the top 4 if after 2 races there isn't some huge discrepancy in the scores.
It's good to see, honestly. I appreciate that.
There we go. Hubert has found the rune sword, a wonderful weapon for the thief, if you don't promote. And +5.
Yeah, I wasn't sure I was going to find that Mazza, and I just wanted someone that could swing a real weapon.
Yeah, it's fair. I think I would.
A large knife is a real weapon. ADR just killed Warmech with twice with one. So
ADR made it work. That's all that matters.
Oh, I suppose there was also a letter opener on that in the greater than less than room. Jay Scheidel getting trolled by worms on his way down to Warmech and Friends.
But no, yeah,
And it looks like he also got the Masa for his fighter.
Hey, there you go. It's a good weapon. You just gotta dig for it. Like, I did not appreciate the weird placement for loot and key. I'm used to getting one of the 2 of them on the Circle C earlier than this, and the fact that I had to dig for both made me real worried when I decided to skip one box in ice because I wasn't sure I could run from everything.
I think everybody on screen skipped that one box as well.
Well, that's good. At least we were all in the same handicap if it ended up having something. Oh, right, blasts! I totally forgot about them, because they're just not that great.
You think Fire 3 would be so much better? Like, why do blasts suck?
I don't. They really do. They're supposed to be Fire 3, but they really feel like they roll Fire 2.
I was just gonna say
Maybe like Fire 2.5, because I've definitely seen them do more damage than Fire 2 can do.
But not by much. Oh, someone doesn't have their evasion tank armor on their thief.
That's okay. We have full. Never mind.
Erased slain.
Never mind. We're on.
And no ribbon either.
Didn't even get to finish the sentence.
Were the wood shields for sale anywhere? Because I ended up having to go back for that one in Earth Cave.
Are they for sale in vanilla?
Yeah, they are. I just didn't see. I checked the shops, I thought, and I didn't see them. So, I didn't check Melman's shop. That's what it is. Okay.
And there's Jay Scheidel finished with a time of 1:11.13 in 3rd place. See if he wants to join us for an interview. And it would appear he does. Welcome, Jay Scheidel, GG's.
Yo, yo. Oh, Danny, we need to talk.
Are you a fan of Warmech, Jay?
I took a handful of them, yeah.
I figured it. Every time I was looking at your screen, Warmech was there.
I finally found a way to beat them, and I was going ninja carry, so I had to get some HP. Until I found that Mazza and went, oh, I can do this.
Was I the only one to take a black belt?
No, Woobear also has a black belt.
Okay, cool. Good company then.
I was going fighter as the face tank and ninja with a katana or vorpal or whatever I could find.
Yeah, that was ADR's plan.
Yee. And then I found the Mazza and went, okay, you can swing this because you can't swing anything else. Good luck.
Had I realized that Mazza would be somewhere I'd find it, I totally would have taken the fighter, but you just don't know until you get there. Plus class changing. Huh?
There is a tail.
I didn't find a tail.
Class or tail was
behind slab or bottle.
No,
I think it was
I didn't have either of them. Yeah, TNT ordeals. Yep, that sounds right.
I didn't check ordeals. That explains that. I didn't.
I got out of the undersea and went straight to ordeals.
With no warp, ordeals is too long to go digging for shards.
Yeah, I saw there's another shard in Volcano, and it came out one short, and I'm like, I'll just check Elok Toph, and 3 chests, decent chances won, it paid off, so there you go.
I just want to know where you found all the shards early at. Like, I was digging deep for those things.
I had to dig a lot of places. I got a bunch in sea, there was a bunch in Mermaid side. I did Volcano, I cleared everything but one box in Ice. Did the key locks except for Topher, which normally it doesn't pay out for me and I didn't want to risk it. Bahamut, and then Sea into Earth Cave, and I got the last couple I needed in Earth Cave.
Sounds like a very similar path. Yeah, I left Sea, I needed 4, and I went, okay, I can probably dig out 2 in Earth, and then Lich is worth 2,
Yeah, exactly. I think I was down 6 when I went into Earth. So I had to do, every check, but there was enough, there was more than 4 probably in there. I found my 4, so...
I knew I was going to skip the top floor, because if I needed them, I could come back for them, but...
But yeah, especially with the black belt, I didn't feel the need to go digging for tails, so it was I just want to go find places that have shards and be done with it. The one nice thing for this flag set is not having to dig for things like the tail.
I knew that I had a really good chance of finding it while digging for floater. So I just kind of went, okay, I can probably lean on a ninja here. HP is going to be my only problem. And I never found a wood shield, so that's why I didn't have the wood evade up.
Floater was so early this seed. I didn't mind. It was nice.
I must have got it really late then, because I checked ordeals and a few other places first.
Wasn't it on... I thought I had it, exiting the Circle C, so wasn't it Dwarves?
Yep, you had to buy Adamant in Crescent Lake.
Yeah.
I didn't have money in Crescent.
Oh. Yeah, I did Ice Cave, and then I, as soon as I was done in Ice Cave, I went down to buy Adamant, so...
Yeah, I went down to ordeals, and then I sold a Hill Helmet and the Thor Hammer.
Yeah, I went up to Volcano to see what I can do. Saw the loot and then wiped on that seafood party pack, but still knew where it was, knew where the eyes were, and then just came back a little bit later with more money. I think I did Earth Nets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lucked out on the party pack by getting through the first one, and running and smoking from the other times when on the Agama tile before Red D.
Did anyone find Fast?
Find what?
Fast.
There's in level 5 slot 3 vanilla warp promo locked.
I
didn't touch Melmond.
I had 2 red mages. As soon as I was done with level 4 magic, I was done. Oh yeah, no, I did see it, but it was locked to promo, wasn't it? And I'm not sure the red mage could learn it.
Yeah, I went down to Lefane hoping to pull out that tail, so popped in the magic shop there, and of course it's promo locked anyway. So, hey, GG's to Weebear.
Yep, and there's Woobear's finish with an official time of 1:16:53.
GG's, Woo Bear. Looked like he had a rough
Yeah,
time.
GG's to Woobear.
Yeah, that fight looked pretty rough.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure if Woober is going
Oh
to
yeah,
be joining us.
how did y'all think about? For those of you that checked it, how'd you feel about the level 8 magic?
What
The
was
level?
late?
Level 8 had temper and nuke,
Nice.
which, if any of you took black mages, you already had temper from the blessings, which is funny. And nuke is just kind of a hey, what if nuke was vanilla-ish?
It looks like Fade. Wow.
Yep, Fade and Wall. Cure 4 was also at level 7. Fire 3 and Ice 3 both at level 7. All the fun stuff was, gated behind promo or White Mage. White Wizard.
Well, that was crazy. That was entirely a looking at the seed at party start and going, what the hell am I gonna do? Oh,
This was very much the seeds I roll for myself. Thanks, Danny.
That was the worst starting party I think I've seen in my practices, in comparison to my practices, because I usually had like someone started with a sweeper, or there was telemagic, or something else, and none of the blur like the malices were hideous, or at least not on all the characters you wanted. So this one was definitely crazy.
Having that fighter kneecap was interesting.
Yeah, very kneecapped.
And then I've usually found, like I said in the race room beforehand, like a saber +5 or a rapier +5. It's like, nah, I was swinging a 2.
Yeah. No, I found a saber while I was digging for stuff, and I'm like, yeah, that's not going to do anything for me. No.
Yeah. It's like, you get a little bit of chip damage. It was able to do something in just normal battles, but that was it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like I said, it was just going to be a meat shield while the ninja did something. And then I found Maza, so...
Alright, so Woobear is not able to make it for an interview tonight. So we're going to go ahead and start off with final thoughts. ADR, first place on stream. Let's go ahead and start with you.
Yeah, there was a okay flag set, a decent turnout. I'm just glad that I was quick on the click, or Darkman would have beaten me to it.
You would have gotten it on a retime if we had to. It's fine. But yeah, no, I'm super happy that with how close this was and how good this race was, and whoo, that was stressful but enjoyable.
Jay, final thoughts?
Well, just thanks to all of you guys for putting it on, and oh my, yeah, that was a race. I remember checking the race room about 50 minutes in, going, "Oh wow, no one else is done yet either," and then seeing that we're all within 2 points of each other. Oh my!
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna post that on the
fun.
Yeah, very close.
Makes for a fun semifinals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. Scar, any final thoughts tonight?
No, just once again, GG to everyone. Hope you all are able to watch the next one.
Which, by the way, will be tomorrow at 10 o'clock Eastern.
Mm-hmm. I can already feel my partners building up their practices to get into that.
Well, I just want to say, thanks to Kumo for putting on the restream. Thanks to our unsung heroes, Fellison and Catnip Bumblefarts behind the scenes for doing the button clicking and keeping track of all the items for us tonight. Also, if anybody's new here and they enjoyed what they saw tonight, come on over to FinalFantasyRandomizer.com You can find links to the Discord, the wiki, to the new player duck program, which is very great. It helps all new players out, which I am one, and it's helped me out fantastically, improve my game quite a bit. So if you like what you see, come join. And with that, we're gonna thank RPG Limit Break for hosting us on their channel tonight, and we'll see you all next time.